Welcome to this week's OK at Work with myself, Sarah Sawyer, and my colleague, Russell Berger, both attorneys at Offit Kurman. And today we are talking about the new New York City pay disclosure laws. So we're filming this on Halloween, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everyone. And tomorrow on November 1st, a new law is going into effect in New York City where employers are going to have to disclose pay ranges for advertising any new jobs or any promotions or transfers, and when they're soliciting applications for those things. So what are some things that employers should be thinking about with this new law coming into play, Russell?
Yeah, well, number one, if you're posting a job that could be done by someone in New York City, you're going to have to comply with this law. So obviously, if you're in New York City, and you're hiring for a position that will actually do the work in New York City, that's easy enough, straightforward. Remote positions are also going to be covered, so that makes things a little bit more complicated and really expands the reach of the law itself. Another big topic is, what do you have to post? And the law talks about a reasonable salary range that the employer believes in good faith is accurate. Now, in a lot of cases, I think employers are going to want to try to depress those numbers as much as possible because they don't want people coming in and angling for the top of those ranges. But in other instances, it might be advantageous to just might give an employer a competitive advantage to have larger dollar numbers in their job posting. And because I think that's not the only reason. We've talked about it plenty on here. That's not the only reason people take a job or quit a job or look for another job. But it's certainly an important factor for any employee.
Yeah, and I think this new law is pretty indicative of trends that are happening in other states as well. I know Colorado is another one, but often when we see one state, especially New York City, being such a metropolis and such tons of employees, tons of businesses there, a lot of businesses that operate elsewhere also have a location in New York City. So it's definitely going to have a wide impact just by the numbers. But when we see this start to happen in certain cities or states, it's very indicative of trends and what the workforce might be expecting as well. So you can have a competitive advantage by putting these things up and something to start thinking about. I know I've been seeing some trends around just a lot of employees, advocating for people to be open and honest about what's going on with their salaries. Like, hey, tell me yours, I'll tell you mine, like these types of things. And there's other laws that govern those types of disclosures and allowing that type of behavior and protect employees when they have those conversations. So part of this is the law and part of this is the practical part that, this is the direction that we're heading in, especially here on the East Coast and in what we'll consider the more employee friendly areas of the country. So something to be aware of as these laws start coming up in different jurisdictions. I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've long had on the books a law that prevents an employer from prohibiting employees to talk about the terms and conditions of their employment, which would include their own compensation. Obviously, you can have people that know what other people are making not disclose that, but there's nothing an employer can do to prevent someone from sharing their own compensation. Now you've got, like you said, Colorado and New York City that are adopting these salary range laws and job postings. In addition, New York State and California are adopting versions of this law in 2023. And there's the social media, the online movement to sharing more information. So that's definitely where things are pointed. And as we sit here in Maryland, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we had a version of this law in a couple of years, because we've seen it happen. Sick and safe leave follow the same trajectory, as did paid family leave. So we know that this is going to be something that our General Assembly will likely be taking up within the next few years.
Yeah, and if enough states at some point have these laws on the books, or enough cities or enough major jurisdictions, it'll start becoming just kind of to be on the safe side, we might advertise in that area, or this might happen and we should just start including this. So I think we'll fairly quickly kind of start getting to that, in the next couple of years here. And as you mentioned, Russell, even though these laws have been on the books that have protected employees from sharing their own salary ranges, if people aren't prompted to share their own information, they won't necessarily share it. But now that people are saying, well, let's talk about it, let's, it really is, I think, going to make a big difference here in the coming years, months, years, something to really be paying attention to.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, thanks, Russell. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sarah.